Can you be more precise about what's potentially dangerous and scary? What could it do? What specifically are you worried about?
Going with old sayings, the pen is mightier than the sword. So if you have a super intelligent AI that is capable of writing incredibly well and in a way that is very influential, convincing, and is constantly figuring out what is more convincing to people over time, and then enters social media, for example, Twitter, also Facebook and others, and potentially manipulates public opinion in a way that is very bad. How would we even know?
In the words of Elon Musk, for all human history, human beings have been the smartest beings on the planet. Now, human beings have created something that is far smarter than they are.
The current worries that I have, that there are going to be disinformation problems, economic shocks, or something else, a level far beyond anything we're prepared for. And that doesn't require super intelligence. That doesn't require super deep alignment problem and the machine waking up and trying to deceive us. And I don't think that gets enough attention.
So these systems deployed at scale can shift the winds of geopolitics and so on.
How would we know if, on Twitter, we were mostly having, this just flowing through that mind?
And do you worry specifically about any of these companies I mentioned, who've all seemed to now kind of be pivoting toward this as the battleground of the next 10 years?
I wouldn't name a name, but there is only one.
Vanguard!
There's only one you're worried about.
Vanguard and BlackRock own Coke and they own Pepsi. They own Apple and they own Android. They own American Airlines, they own Delta. They own oil and they own solar. They own eBay and they own Amazon and they own the car companies and the pharmaceutical companies and the tobacco companies, the food companies, the clothing companies, the insurance companies, the banks. No matter what industry. And we all know corporate dollars go into politics, and if all those corporations are owned by the same people, that means both political parties are definitely owned by the
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias, and agenda to control exactly what people think. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
The CEO and founder of BlackRock is Larry Fink, but then BlackRock has a board. The largest shareholder is Vanguard. And who's in Vanguard, you might wonder? Nobody knows! Yeah, I guess it's just private information.
Why are you joining the team that is putting out a warning and calling for a pause?
We need a wake-up call here. We have a perfect storm of corporate irresponsibility, widespread adoption of these new tools, a lack of regulation, and a huge number of unknowns. But part of the reason that some of us wrote this letter is to put some pressure on, to make governments and the companies realize that this is no joke, that there are risks from these things. There are immediate short-term risks around scale that might disrupt democracy, much more plausible and much more of it than we've ever seen before. There are risks around cybersecurity, people using these tools to acquire people's credentials and do all kinds of things once they have those credentials. There are longer-term risks that we just don't understand what these machines can do. And we don't know how to make them align with human desire. So there are many, many issues to worry about, and we've never seen anything scaled out so fast before. And we're also seeing that the corporates are, as usual, more interested in profits than human safety. So we have to do something, and that's why a bunch of us signed this letter. I don't know if the particular thing that we called for will actually happen, but we've raised public awareness more than I've ever seen on this issue. I've been on television nonstop for the last couple of days talking about it. I think it's just absolutely critical that people in society realize that we can't wait on this.
That there's an open letter that you're working on.
It's actually going live in a few hours. Have you seen Don't Look Up, the film?
Yes.
Seen it? Watch it. Because we are actually acting out. It's life imitating art. Humanity is doing exactly that right now, except it's an asteroid that we are building ourselves. We're at a fork in the road. This is the most important fork that humanity has reached in its over 100,000 years on this planet. Building effectively a new species that's smarter than us.
The world is about to change in a fundamental way. The feeling that I've had personally, just to share, is it's like it's 1944 and you get a call from Robert Oppenheimer inside this thing called the Manhattan Project. You have no idea what that is. And he says the world is about to change in a fundamental way. Except the way it's about to change, it's not being deployed in a safe and responsible way. It's being deployed in a very dangerous way. 50% of AI researchers believe there's a 10% or greater chance that humans go extinct from our inability to control AI.
It's a really amazing technology. It's also really terrifying.
Now a long list of tech scholars and experts are saying the same. Billionaire Elon Musk, along with co-founders of Apple, Skype, and Pinterest, and others, writing bluntly in an open letter, AI systems with human competitive intelligence can pose profound risks to society and humanity.
What do you see as the worst case scenario here?
Well, the worst case scenario is obviously that we humans gradually lose more and more control over our civilization.
When it comes down to it, I'm more concerned about the people creating the AI and the AI system itself. Those are going to be the people who are going to manipulate the system, the perception of it, or how it perceives the world in order to benefit themselves, whether or not it's to extract financial gain or whether or not they are someone who deals in weaponry, which a lot of people are selling weapons. And AI is something that people perceive as a weapon.